Here's everything you know. Here's everything you know that you don't know. And this is everything you don't yet know that you don't even know. Some days I feel like I'm observing a parallel universe from a distance, an old world that I'm no longer part of. All these lives inside one world. What about imagination? The magic of imagination. I won't pretend to tell you what I know, because the moment I claim something as absolute truth, life reminds me it isn't. There's always missing pieces, anomalies, exceptions. The deeper you look, the more you see that almost nothing is 100% true. Most things are stories. Most things are myths. Most things are lies. Not malicious lies. Just the kind of lies humans tell to make sense of a world that's too large to ever really understand. Take, for instance, the noble lie. It was created to keep the society functioning. A myth invented for the greater good. Families do the same thing. Every system does. There's always a victim, a persecutor, a rescuer. A triangle of roles that we never consciously chose, but are quietly assigned. And as you can imagine, within that triangle are hierarchies, levels of importance, to keep us always striving for more. And the moment you identify with one, you stay in the story. We even place God into this triangle. We make ourselves victims, life the persecutor, the divinity the rescuer. It's familiar, it's comforting, and it keeps us from asking the harder questions. What would happen if you stepped out of the triangle entirely? If you stopped believing in persecutors? Stop believing anyone had that kind of power over your mind, your meaning, your purpose, your direction, your life calling. What if the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer were all you? All different expressions of the same consciousness. Just trying to understand itself. Gold, silver, bronze, all mined from the same earth, all you, all possible. So the idea that you are in the world but not of it, maybe that's just another story too. Another myth you tell yourself to make sense of this distance that you feel. I walked past the biography section. Thousands of spines, thousands of stories. And for a moment I realized we're all out here living our own lives, brushing past each other without ever fully knowing how deep another person goes. Never mind that, how deep we can go. How deep you can understand someone else depends how deep you can understand this world, this universe, this paradox. Depends on how deep you can go with yourself. Because here's the real secret. You're not separate from this world. You're always creating it, and you're always interpreting it. Then you're projecting it. You're giving it a shape of its own. all those roles you've ever played, some have been assigned and you accepted. Some you chose and you embodied. But what about transcendence? Because the moment you realize that, you stop trying to escape this world and you start participating in it with a different lens, the lens of imagination, the lens of possibility, the lens of open-mindedness. Because you're not a victim. Somebody just told you that you were. And you're not a savior. And you don't need one either. And for sure, you're not the persecutor, even though many may have told you that you are. You're simply the observer. Nothing more, nothing less. Understands that the victim, the savior, the persecutor, they all live inside of you. But none of them define you. That's what it truly means to be in the world, but not of it. Be amongst the myths, the legends, the tales. But even those things are not who you are. Those things do not define the life that you live. One day you will wake up. You'll realize you're no longer trapped inside this old myth. Now you're standing outside of it. Maybe watching it dissolve. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe you were never meant to fit this world, these myths, these lies, these false and limiting beliefs. Maybe you were just meant to understand it. Understand what it is and what it is not. And through that understanding, you can then create a new one within yourself. A new myth. Because soon you realize what you know is all just a lie. Ain't that the truth?